Hello. Hi, guys. Hey, everybody. It's Meg. I am on live. I'm just got back from dinner, so I'm a little discombobulated. So bear with me. I'm gonna get the decks set up, and then we're gonna get into some cards tonight. I'm really excited for that. I do have a few things to discuss with you guys because I do want to play a little catch up. We haven't just talked. We haven't just talked in a while, and that makes me sad. And I kind of regret not having time to go live more often. But life has been lifing for me, and that's a good thing. It's also made for some very interesting stuff to happen. So I'll get into it in a minute. But first and foremost, guys, thank you for tuning in. I appreciate you very much. This is our Halloween stream, which I'm really excited for. I always kind of look forward to Halloween and Samhain and Dia de los Muertos, just because it's a precious time of the year for me. And I know it's a very precious time of the year for a lot of people. So if this is how you're celebrating, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for being with me this evening. I hope you are safe. If you've gone partying, if you are still inclined to trick or treat, there's no shame in that. You do you. I hope the candy's good. I can tell you, I've had a lot already. I'm a little buzzy right now. But yeah, I hope that you're doing okay. I hope that you're safe. I hope that you're having some very good natured fun. Or, if you're so inclined, I hope that it has been spooky for you as well. I'm thinking of the people who are going to like horror nights and all of that jazz. I could never. I don't do well with the jump scares. Again, I could never. So I'm at home live streaming with you guys. Ayy. No shame. Anyway, yeah, we're gonna get into some cards. Like I said a bit ago, I just got back from dinner, so I'm setting up. But there are some fun decks in this lineup, and I hope that whatever messages come through are helpful and resonant for you. Okay. Actually, I'm gonna knock this one out real quick. This is the Funerary Arts Tarot, and you can find it at the link right here. Go check her out. She's a fantastic artist, and I'm blessed to call her a friend. So, Allison, if you see this, thank you for making your deck, and I hope that you're doing well. So, yeah. So, let's talk for a minute. Okay, because like I said, life has been lifing, and I'm doing my best with it. But there's been some interesting hiccups along the way. Number one, I haven't been as consistent with the blog, or I feel like I haven't been as consistent with the blog as I should be. I know you guys are expecting posts every day, and that's what I promise. That's what I will endeavor to keep doing. But one thing that I'm noticing, especially on Instagram, is that there are particular accounts who keep messaging me just very simply, send me this post. That's all I'm getting in the message. Okay. And I have some concerns about that because I do want to collaborate with people, and I do want to share my knowledge. I do want to, I want to get what I can out of the cards, and I want to share that with as many people who feel comfortable accepting those messages, right? I'm never going to force that down your throat. I'm never going to force you to sit and listen to what I have to say. That's not what I'm going to do. Okay. But I'm a little bit concerned that those are the types of messages I'm getting, in part because I have to be honest, I don't own any of the artwork that I share through my posts. There's a couple of reasons why that's making me concerned. One, again, the artwork is not mine. I'm not just going to send off a random image to a random Instagram account. I don't believe that the accounts I'm getting those messages from are run by a real person. Okay, and it bothers me because I tend to ignore messages like that, and if there are real people behind that, um, I don't mean to be a negative Nancy or a real. I don't mean to be a snob. I need more. Um, I need more from you if you want to collaborate. Like, what's your goal? What are you trying to? What are you trying to achieve from that? There's still maybe some hesitation, and I don't want to. I don't want to scam anybody, right? I really don't want to scam anybody. But I also need to be comfortable, and I need to be comfortable knowing that there's someone on the other side of the screen managing an account that wants to collaborate, especially if they're tarot. This is a community that I deeply and genuinely love, and I want to be as transparent as possible. I want to be as honest as possible. And on that note, back to my Instagram, I need to apologize because I have not been very good at crediting the artists that make my decks. Okay, the decks that I own. I don't know a lot of them personally. I don't know their stories. I don't have the privilege of knowing them. And, I have not been very good at that. And I want to own up to that now because, like I said, I don't own the images that are coming through my work. Okay. Now, that could mean, if someone wants to take me up legally on this, that could mean that my Instagram goes away, my blog goes away. I came into writing about this and sharing my posts this way, knowing that it could all go away at the end of the day. And that's something that will break my heart if it happens. But it's something that may have to happen if someone wants to take me to task for that. I'm perfectly fine shutting it down. Okay. I don't want to. And that is why I need to owe everybody an apology for not crediting the artists in my Instagram posts. I will chalk that up to being lazy, because the way I share my posts is that on Patreon, I do have a Patreon for Lune Rouge. If you want to check that out, there's a link in the description. But Patreon allows you to send an active link, and I primarily use Instagram, but also Facebook. And the post is linked to the Patreon on my Facebook, but it doesn't do it for the Instagram posts. And that's where my laziness came into play, because I wasn't copy pasting the artists. Now, I do make extensive notes on each post, and one of which is crediting the artists that make all of the decks. Okay. I haven't been putting that in the Instagram posts. That's on me. Okay. I apologize for not doing that. And that is something that I must get better at doing for the next year, especially in the next year. I realize we only have November and December of this year. How did that even happen? Okay. but yeah, that's something that I must get better at doing, because it screws a lot of people. It makes it seem like I'm trying to bootleg everybody, and I'm really not. I don't want to scam anybody. I do want to collaborate, but I want to do it as above the table as I possibly can. So, so yeah, there's that. I'm taking myself to task for not doing that, and I apologize to everybody out here who is seeing my Instagram posts. I'm grateful. I'm grateful for your feedback. Okay, I really am grateful for your feedback. So if you have anything to say, the chat is open. Comments are open after the fact. Please get in touch if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Okay. We have a visitor. Pause for a minute. Hello. Yeah. So, that is it, I think. Okay. Yeah, that's it for now. Yeah. How's everybody doing? I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Again, life is lifing. I've been kind of busy. Yeah, it's been good though. It's been good though. If you have, okay, here's the thing though. Let me round back up to the beginning here. I'm gonna do some card reading, and the chat is open if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Please be advised that I do see the chat. Okay, I do see who's leaving what. Okay, and I will block and report if I get any comments that imply any sort of violence or mistreatment to me or my community. It will happen if it's left. If I feel uncomfortable with it, or if someone else in the comments feels uncomfortable with it, I reserve the right to modify everything as I see fit. Okay. Please be aware of it. You're free to express yourself as you need to, but be aware that you are in a big audience. Okay. I am also going to be using this platform as a way of spreading help and awareness to those who will be affected by the loss of SNAP and EBT benefits. Please check the description. Okay, because there are a number of links to finding aid and services if you are going to be affected by the lack of EBT and SNAP services being rolled out. I understand that there have been some pretty big developments on that front, but I also don't want to tell you not to be careful. Please go check those out if you are in need, okay? It's been on my heart to do something, and I'm in a place to help. Okay, so I'm in a place to help, and I'm very lucky. I will be taking some food and donations down to my local food bank very soon. So, also, if you are going to donate, it is going to my PayPal. Any funds that I receive from this, if any, it will be going to helping my local my local food bank. Okay. I don't know. It's been on my heart. I know I'm a very lucky and privileged person to be able to do this, to be able to raise awareness like that. I hope you guys can understand that nobody should have to go hungry. I'm lucky that hasn't been the case for me, but it has been the case for plenty of others. Okay, and that's why I want to do this to help them. Okay. And that's also why I say, please be aware that your comments are seen. Anyway, there is that. Description, check the links. I hope you're doing okay. All right. So, let's see. Let's see some cards. Also, if you want to get in touch with me outside of YouTube, my social medias are listed in the description as well. Yeah, let me know if you have any questions. I've already said it. Let's get into the cards. I'm rambling now, as you possibly could tell. So let's see what we need to see. Okay? What do we need to see? Oh yeah, we're gonna be debuting a new deck. Okay, this one is called the Black Violet Tarot. This one's called the Black Violet Tarot by Heidi Phelps. You'll see more cards in a minute, but let's dig in. Let's dig in and get some messages. Okay. Let's start. What do we need to see? What do we need to see? All right, one more, and then we'll pull. Okay. Okay, a lot of you want to come out here. Ooh, okay. All right. So we're starting with the Hierophant. We're going to start with the Hierophant. Okay. Starting with the Hierophant, we have the Seven of Candles or the Seven of Wands. Okay. Seven of Candles, Seven of Wands. And we have the Three of Cups. Three of Potions in this case. Close enough, though. All right. Three of Potions, Three of Cups. All right. Well, okay. Here's what I'm going to do. I do have some thoughts. I'm going to draw a number of cards from each deck. Okay? And we'll do kind of a collective reading all together. All right. So let's get out our cards. Let's see what we need to see, and then we'll get a kind of an overarching message. If you guys have been on my channel before, I typically like to read both Oracle and Tarot decks, but I don't have any spooky themed Oracle decks, which I need to remedy that. I should remedy that. I'm going to be careful about how I remedy that because I do like buying tarot decks. But we're going to be careful. Let's get an overarching energy and then we'll get into nitty-gritty details after the fact. So we're starting with the Hierophant, the Seven of Wands, and the Three of Cups. Let's see what else we need to see. Okay. Got the Queen of Pentacles. Okay, let me get that up close. That's a very pretty card. Have the Queen of Pentacles. Okay. Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles. Okay, Queen of Pentacles, Page of Pentacles, and the Eight of Pentacles. Okay. Okay, we've got the Eight of Pentacles here. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Going to see the Six of Bats, Six of Swords. Trying to remember if this, okay. So quick explanation. This is the Halloween Tarot by Kipling West. In this case, bats are swords. Okay. Bats are swords. And then there's another card that's the suit of imps. Those are wands. So got the Six of Swords. Okay. We have the Ace of Ghosts, which, as you can probably tell, is the Ace of Cups. Okay. Ace of Ghosts, Ace of Cups. We've got the Six of Swords. And we have the Hanged Man. Okay. Got the Hanged Man. Okay. All right. Now let's start here. I do have a couple of other decks incoming, but we're gonna start here. The thing that I got immediately is that there is a situation where you might be having to stand up for yourself. Okay, Seven of Wands. Yeah, the situation is such that you might have to stand up for yourself. What do you believe in? What is worth? What is that hill you're willing to die on? Okay, I'm saying that in typical Rider-Waite representation of this card, you'll see someone standing oftentimes on a hill or by themselves, and they're having to battle off other people. Okay, I'm getting the sense that this might be the situation in your case. Okay, and some of you viewers are experiencing a situation where this is the case. Okay, what you might need to remember here, and it's kind of feeling a bit lonely, kind of feeling, excuse me, kind of feeling a bit stressed. What you need to remember is that you're an individual among your group. Okay, you have your own mindset, you have your own you have your own mindset, you have your own compass, you have your own set of rules that think of your Hierophant as your operating system. Like what are your morals, what are your values, what do you consider to be right for you? Okay, follow that path. Okay, and know, something tells me that there are people in your group who don't necessarily feel right to be there. Okay, and that's because they're not they're not your people. Frankly, they might be the loveliest person on the face of the planet, but if they're not, if they're overly cruel about what you're looking to do for yourself, maybe that isn't the person you want to be telling your goals to. Okay, I'm hearing the phrase "move in silence" around these people. Okay, move in silence around these people, but know that you have a support system under you. Okay, might not feel like it. Let me just be real. It might not feel like it right now, but there are supportive people around you, and there are supportive people who want the best for you. Okay, I often interpret the Three of Cups as your support system, a celebration of your support system. Okay, but these are the people you raise your glasses with, right? These are the people you celebrate wins with, right? These are the people you text at 2 a.m. because you got that promotion. Bestie, if that's you, I love that for you. Let's go, right? Yeah, these are your support people. These are your support people. And because it's Samhain, because it's Halloween, these could be people, you may be calling in ancestors, you may be calling in people from your past that have given you all of the love and support that you could ever want. Okay. Like I said, if you're texting someone at 2 a.m. because you got that promotion, yes, go get them. Go get them. You'll ace it. for sure. But let's move on to our pentacles here. We have the Queen, the Page, and the Eight of Pentacles. So you've worked hard. Let me bring up the Eight of Pentacles here. You've definitely worked hard at something, and you've gotten yourself here for a very good reason. Okay, you've done a lot of work. Okay, I'm probably going to say that ad nauseum if I keep holding up this card. The difference between mind-numbing work and meaningful work is what you're willing to put forward. And I think given that you've come this far into your journey, okay, you've realized that whatever it is you're doing right now is worth the time, the effort, the possibly money. And I'm going to say money. There's been some financial contribution to this thing. And I'm getting here because the Suit of Pentacles is, it is about your money. It's about your resources. It's about your could be about your finances. I'll let you puzzle that one out for yourself. But the ticket with the Eight of Pentacles is that you busted some ass. Okay, you really busted some ass to get here. Okay, and there has been some payoff. Okay, there's been a lot of payoff because I think your sense of creativity, your sense of creativity, your sense of grounded practicality has grown. Okay, you've definitely grown. Okay, you've grown as a person. You've grown. I want to say business owner. Some of you might be business owners. Okay. You've definitely grown up a little bit, and that's great. I love that. Okay. You still have some things to learn, though, right? You have a bit to learn, and this is where your Page of Pentacles comes in, because while you are you've done a lot of work. Okay, you've done a lot of work. Reminder, though, you still have a bit left to do. Okay, you're not so grown that you don't have room. Yeah, you haven't outgrown your space just yet. There's still lessons to be learned. There's still creative things to be done. Okay, I'm getting creative because, pentacles are also associated with the element of earth. So this is your creative pursuit. This is putting down new roots too. Okay, so some of you are using your creativity and your ability to grow as a means of growing, continuing your growth. Okay, means of continuing your growth, but now you have practical wisdom, and you have practical wisdom to keep going. Okay, so there's your Queen of Pentacles. There's your Eight of Pentacles. Okay, busted some ass, and you've got a ways left, but you can do it. Okay, you can do it. How are we going to do this, though? Okay, how are we going to do this? Let's talk about our Seven of Wands a little bit here, because I feel like I gave a little bit. I feel like I was slightly short-sighted in how I described the Seven of Wands. Yes, there is a defensive element to the Seven of Wands. Okay. But I think part of the reason why you have this need for defense mode is because people see you people see you making changes. Okay, people are seeing you move on. Okay, and I feel like some of you have outgrown the boxes you're in, which is ironic that I say that, given that one of the things I said about the Page of Pentacles was that you've grown up, but you're not so grown that you've outgrown your box. Some of this you have. Okay, some of this you have, and I want to be clear. This is beneficial growth. Okay, this is something that you have, I think, have looked forward to, because the things that you've moved away from have maybe lost their appeal or lost their flavor. This is a place you don't go to anymore because you're just not into it anymore, or this is someone that you are maybe still talking to but have given space to, right? You know your situation better, okay, than I ever will. Okay, the thing with this transition phase is that you're not going it alone. Remember a Three of Cups? Let me get that cutie pie card out. I mean, come on, cutie pie. This is the Nightmare Before Christmas tarot. So, the thing with this transition is that you're not going alone. Okay, you've never been alone. You never will be alone, and you're definitely not alone now. You're definitely not alone now. And I want you to look at the figures in the boat here. Okay, they're not looking behind them. I want to make that distinction here. They're not looking behind them. They're looking forward. Even the little cat figure here, who I adore this deck because of the cat motif here. Even the cat is not looking back. There's no looking back. But the Seven of Wands, suggests that something is being left behind. Someone is being left behind. Okay? And for better or for worse, it has to happen. Okay? That feels icky. That feels so gross to say. But it has to happen because better things are on the horizon. Okay? I think I definitely feel better things are on the horizon. Okay? Better things are on the horizon. Let's talk about this Ace of Cups here. There's new opportunity. There's new growth to be done here. You've outgrown this little thing here. You're now out here. What can you learn from having this space? What can you learn from having this time? Okay? How can you work to see things a little bit more, a little bit differently, a little more, shall we say, unique? What unique perspective can you bring in on your experience? Okay, what unique experience can you bring here? Again, let me show you the backing on that. See what I mean? I love that little cat. I love that little cat. It's a motif in a deck of cards, but still, yes, I am a cat person, just for the record. Yeah, something new is starting from moving on and letting go. Okay, it's a lot, and there are people who don't want you to do it. Here's the other thought that I had, is that they might be going about expressing their concerns. Yeah, they might be going about expressing their concerns in a way that isn't necessarily productive. Okay, they were like, no, don't do the thing you want to do. I'm going to hold you back by your belt loop. Well, sometimes you got to say, actually, let go and let me do this so I can go figure out if what is going to happen next is actually going to be beneficial, right? let's see what else we need to see. I'm gonna continue on with this main message here. Okay. What else do we need to see here? Okay. What else do we need to see? What else do we need to see? Okay. 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 We're getting temperance. We're getting temperance. Okay, we're getting temperance. We're getting the 6 of Cups. Okay. Got temperance. We've got the 6 of Cups. And we got the 3 of Cups again. Beautiful. Okay. Temperance, 6 of Cups, and 3 of Cups. Okay. Temperance, 6 of Cups, and 3 of Cups. Okay. One more deck that we're going to pull from. Let's see what else we got to see. Okay. Okay. Right, we're getting Page of Swords. Okay, we've got the Page of Swords. Okay, my Page of Swords. We have the 3 of Pentacles. Oh, okay. I'm starting to notice a thing. Ooh. Okay, come on now. Drop the card. 3 of Pentacles. Okay, got 3 of Pentacles. And, okay, we've got the 8 of Swords too. Okay, got the 8 of Swords. Okay. All right, and finally, okay, okay, we're going to see the 2 of Swords. Let's see the 2 of Swords. Okay, 2 of Swords. We have the Knight of Cups. Okay, we've got the Knight of Cups. All right, got the 2 of Swords. We've got the Knight of Cups. And we have, hang tight. We have Temperance again. Okay. The thing with this deck is they don't label the cards, so I have to cheat a little bit and look up the number. But we have Temperance again. So let's start there, because we have 2 repeat cards. If you're paying attention, let me get out 3 of Cups. Get up the 3 of Cups here. Again, I feel like the kind of a common theme for the main energy here is this idea of friendship and connection with others. Okay, I'm getting here because we have 2 3 of Cups representations here. Okay, again, with all of life's difficulties and interesting curveballs that it can throw at us, the need to feel like we're not alone, especially right now. The need to feel like we're not alone is very real and very important to address. Okay. And this can be hard. I heard someone, I can't remember if it was through socials or just out and about. Um, I heard someone kind of bemoaning the fact that it is very hard as an adult to find meaningful friendships and connections with others. And I agree. I don't have a huge friend circle. I don't necessarily, and I'm a homebody at best, so I don't necessarily like going out and partying and drinking all night every night. Like, that's not me. I'm not into that, right? If you are, that's your business. Yucking nobody's yums over here. But it is challenging to find meaningful connections with others. And when it comes down to you feeling like you've been betrayed and hurt by people you were meant to have deep connections with, it can feel really disorienting. Okay. Getting here with the seven of wands. Okay. Again, it can feel really disorienting when you're not when you're not connecting, when you don't feel connected with the people around you. That's why I'm saying, sometimes, especially if they're not letting you really be yourself, or they're not letting you be be about your goals, be about your dreams, brag on yourself for achieving what you've achieved. You get that right, by the way. Be humble. Don't be goofy about it. But again, it can be really tough to find. It can be tough to find your people sometimes. But here's the interesting part. Okay, here's a really interesting part here, is that we also have temperance. We also have cards that suggest being in balance. Okay. This is balance. This is moderation. This is understanding that you're in a flow. Okay, and you could resist it all you want. Okay, that's your business. It may create some interesting issues for you. But you are part of a current. You are part of a flow. You are part of an energetic exchange. Okay. Whether that happens person to person, whether that happens, whether that happens privately, person to person, it still happens. Okay. And you are part of that. Okay. It can be empowering to think about it that way. I like that we're getting the Hanged Man for that, because this could be the shift in your perspective on the matter. Okay. But it doesn't mean that it happens easily. Okay. Yeah, it doesn't mean that it happens easily. And sometimes, after you've basically dismantled everything, built it back up again, sometimes reconnecting with the things that brought you joy, especially when you were young, when you were a kid, those could be clutch for you in feeling connected again. Okay. If you pranced around your room wearing a pink cape and a tiara and a frilly little dress, sing at the top of your lungs. You don't necessarily have to get dressed up like that. But if you frolicked in a field of wildflowers as a kid, maybe that's something you could reconnect with. I don't know what it is. I don't know what that's going to look like for you, but that's why you get to decide what that is. How you reconnect with that childhood joy is up to you. Okay. Another thing that I'm getting to, why this difficulty of being connected and feeling connected is there's this teamwork card coming out here with the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so finding this is also why we're getting temperance. Bring that one back up for you. You're having to balance things very differently now. As a grown person, okay, as someone who is grown, this is this can be really challenging. And I'll give you a real life example here. I have a family member who is doing some very big business work for I can't really say too much because it is private, but he is doing a lot of very important business for this company. Let's call it. Again, I can't say too much, and I'm trying to be vague because I'm not really supposed to know details. However, um, the situation that he's in has required him to balance personalities, balance operational issues, that sort of thing, and it's taken the Mickey. It's really taken the Mickey out on him. Let me bring up the other temperance card here. Um, he's doing his best, okay, and that's what anybody can ask of him, okay. This Three of Pentacles has been has definitely challenged him in a way that I think it's healthy, it's good, okay. Where does that leave you? You could be, again, let's go all the way back to our Seven of Wands. This could be where that source of tension is happening, okay. And it's, again, not fun, kind of icky, kind of gross. But this is why you're in the place you're in, is to learn how to balance this situation. Okay. Okay. Now, you do have a lot on your mind. Okay. You have a lot on your mind because you have the Page of Swords, you have the Eight of Swords. That to me says, the situation with your Three of Pentacles definitely has you in your head. Okay. Definitely has you in your head because with, again, go back to the Seven of Candles, the Seven of Wands, you're having to stand up for yourself. Okay. What I would suggest here, and you can leave this or take this as you see fit. What I would suggest here is looking at what I would suggest is taking another look at where you are. Okay. Take a look at where you are. You are with the Eight of Swords. To me, this is the mental pitfall. Okay, this is the mental pitfall. This is the self-sabotage. This is self-imposed traps, right? Notice that I say self-imposed, okay? Because when you take a look at the situation again, it might not be as bad as it seems. It might not be as entrapping as it seems. I think that's a word. I don't know. But you're not as trapped as you believe you are with the Eight of Swords. Okay? And it's going to take you looking again at what you think might be trapping you. Because maybe that thing isn't necessarily realistic. Okay? Maybe that thing isn't necessarily realistic. Here's where our Page of Swords comes in. Okay? Here's where our Page of Swords comes in, because this is exactly what I just said. The Page of Swords. Okay? You're smart, you're powerful, you're observant. Okay? You're deeply emotional. Okay? Yes, you do feel your feelings. And you're not shy about hiding them either. Okay? But you're being called to find a way to gently express yourself, or, maybe not gently, effectively express yourself and what you're feeling here. Okay? Because you have, it feels like for some of you in this situation, your thoughts are kind of ping-ponging all over the place, and it might be slightly difficult to get them to settle. Okay? I'm sure I've had that kind of day. Okay? Something tells me you're going to be okay. Okay? Because remember, with our Queen of Pentacles and our Page of Pentacles, you've grown. Okay? You've definitely made some growth. Now's the time to action that growth. Now's the time to action that spiritual, emotional growth that you've done. Okay? Got the Knight of Cups. Okay? Got the Knight of Cups. And if you're wondering, at least what this first part of the reading is about, what's it for? It's about learning harmony and balance when things get weird, when things start going weird. How testing your sense of harmony, your sense of practicality, your ability to grow in hardship. That could be something important for you. Okay. This is testing your sense of balance when things get turbulent. Okay. And again, given that we have the Seven of Wands, I do think there's a little bit of turbulence. Okay. And it's okay, because this is your time to take action on that emotional and spiritual growth you've been doing. Okay. Okay. So that's our main energy. I'm going to have a water break. Here's the thing. I talk a lot, and, hydrate. Hydrate, please. This is your chance to do the same. Okay? Yeah, do you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything you want to share? If you know the tarot and have a different interpretation of what I just said, please feel free. If you feel safe to, please don't force yourself. If not, that's totally fine. Okay? Okay. Cheers. Okay. I'm going to put this over here. I don't want to spill. Ow, ow. Okay. Ow. So. Okay. So, I feel like there's more to say. I do feel like there's more to say. I would like to see what kind of... Well, let's look at something underneath. There's definitely some hidden energy underneath. Excuse me. So what I'm going to do... I'm going to shuffle all of the decks, and I'm sorry you can't see this, but I'm going to shuffle everything and turn the decks over so I can see the card on the bottom. Okay, that's going to count for our hidden energy. So let's see some hidden energy. What do we need to see for our hidden energy, please? Okay. Well, okay. This is already turning out to be very interesting. Yeah, it's already turning out to be very interesting. Because we have another repeat card. I can assure you of that. But it's coming off some very interesting cards. Let me turn the other decks. Okay, let me get the other decks turned over here, and then we'll pull up the cards on the bottom. So bear with me just a little bit, guys. Okay. 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 So we'll shuffle on this one. Okay, five of wands. All right. So we're gonna see the Nine of Swords. You're gonna see the Nine of Swords. We have the Devil. The Nine of Swords, we have the Devil. We have the Ace of Cups. Here's our repeat card. So let's get all the cards up and we'll talk about it in a minute. There's your Ace of Cups. We have the Five of Pentacles. Okay, we've got the Five of Pentacles. We have the Page of Pumpkins. In this case, this is the Page of Cups. Okay, the Page of Cups. All right, and we have the Five of Candles. In this case, this is the Five of Wands. Yeah, there's some self-sabotage here. Okay, there's some self-sabotage here, and I think this is coming from past experience, because we have the Five of Pentacles here, and I think this is the kind of thing that you've kind of went into it unknowing what it was gonna take. Okay, and by that I mean this Ace of Cups here. Okay, it's a new opportunity. There's some new spiritual, emotional growth happening here. There's also been some things that you kind of entered into without really knowing what you were signing up for. Okay, here's a Page of Pumpkins. They've come a long way, but there's still a little bit to go. Okay, this is a chance to figure out how to take action on that spiritual, emotional growth. Okay, which is interesting because we have the not so extreme noob and the extreme noob. Okay. There's a lot of stress around this thing. Okay, there's a lot of stress around this thing. There's a lot of fear of failure and having to ask for help. That's not fun. It's like, no, I got this. Bestie, do you though? I don't really want to make you feel more insecure, but from an outside observer, you look like you're floundering a little bit. Okay, it's okay to ask for help. That's where I want to get to with this Five of Pentacles. It is okay to ask for help. It's okay to feel stressed. It's okay to feel like there's a monkey hanging off your back. Okay? It's not fun. It's not fun, and I would probably go on a limb very safely and say, you're a little scared right now. Okay? Again, afraid of failure, afraid of having to ask for help. The thing is, you are valid in those emotions. You are right to feel those emotions. And yes, you are in a sense of internal conflict because you want this really badly. Okay? You want this really badly. But you have to understand this is a pitfall that you're putting yourself willingly into. Okay? You're putting yourself willingly there, right? And you have to be aware that these chains are not tied around you. You're not, you can move things out of the way. Physically, spiritually, emotionally, you can address those things. You may need to ask for help. You may need to do that, and there is no shame in that. But you have to let yourself, you might have to swallow your pride a little bit. Okay? You're gonna have to swallow your pride. And that's not an easy thing for some of you to hear. I get it. I'm the same way. For better, for worse, I am the same way. Okay? What I want to validate you on right now is that you've done so much. You have done a lot of work. Okay? And that work is meaningful. That means something. Okay? That does mean, well, it means everything to you, because otherwise you wouldn't have done it. Okay? But it's come with a price tag. Right? It's definitely come with a price tag, and I don't want you to feel discouraged that that's the case. Okay? Because you're the boss that's gotten yourself here. Okay? Let's clarify it. Let's get the cards off the top of the decks, and we'll see what else we need to see. Oh, okay. 4 of Wands. Here's a good card. Here's a wholesome card to me here. Okay, we've got the 4 of Wands. Okay. Ace of Cups. Bestie, something's really getting you in the emotional feels right now. Ace of Cups. This is the third or fourth. I think this is the third time this has come out. Okay, Ace of Cups. Third time that's come out. We've got the 5 of Cups, 5 of Ghosts. Okay. Got the 5 of Ghosts. Okay. We have the 6 of Swords. Here's another repeating card. Repeating cards. Okay, we've got the 6 of Swords. It's the third time Temperance has come out. Interesting. All right, I know what I'm going to do. You'll have to bear with me when I get done actually reading the whole of the cards here, but I want to do a quick summary here. We've got Temperance, okay? And we have the Sun. I like that we're getting this card. I like that we're getting the repeat cards here. So let's start with our 4 of Wands here, because the 4 of Wands to me is the card for home and hearth. This is family. This is celebrating that family. Okay? This is everything you could possibly want for yourself. Firm foundation, stable home. If you're growing your family, they're all happy, healthy, and whole. Like this is your ideal. Maybe this is your ideal situation. Okay, and it could be celebrating for the sake of it, right? Oh, I woke up today. Let's do that, right? That's optimism at its best, and I hope some of you have that, right? This is your home and your hearth card. This is your foundation. This is your stability. This is if you have family and kids, husband, wife, partner in some capacity. It's stable. It's good. It's reliable right now. Okay? You've gone through a lot of healing. Let's bring up the Sun card here. There's a lot of healing that you've gone through. You've grown You have grown so much. Okay, you have pentacles in this, but the Ace of Cups is your emotional growth, your spiritual growth has come so unbelievably far. Okay, and there's new things to be brought in from that. I may start crying. I should have warned you at the beginning of this, but sometimes I cry during these readings. Okay, you can go back and find one of my videos that may have that. Okay, the Ace of Cups, bestie, you've come a long way. You've come a long way, and you might be going even further, and I want that for you so much. I'm ready to see that for you. Okay, I'm ready to see that for you because look at what you have out of this now. Remember I said you're solid. You're solid. You're on solid ground. Okay? You're on solid ground. Okay? Because you've figured out a balance that has worked for you till now. You may have to refigure what that is going to mean for you coming up here. Okay? But you have moved. You've made a lot of forward progress. Okay? The Six of Swords here. Made a lot of forward progress. Okay? And before you might have been mired in the emotion, excuse me, you may have been mired in some pretty steep, heavy emotions here, okay, because you haven't seen the bridge over troubled water. Okay, you could be, you were haunted by something, and I'm saying that because it's ghosts in the image here. But you've grown past what's haunting you. Okay, and that's important that you keep in mind. Okay, because while things have a tricky way, life has a tricky way of throwing curveballs at you. It doesn't mean you're helpless. It doesn't mean you're kind of lost in the fray. It means that you have more control that you're giving yourself credit for. Okay? And if you don't think that way right now, this is where our hanged man comes back. Okay? It's where a hanged man comes back. And it's where, it's where I would definitely give yourself the chance to look again. Okay? Now we got a fat stack of cards here. You got a real fat stack of cards. I wanna pick out the repeat cards because I think there's definitely something to be said about the cards that we're getting. So let me get out those cards and we'll see what I come up with here. Okay. Yeah. Oh, three of cups comes up too. Oh. I think we got Three of Cups again. No, I don't think we have it again. Yeah, we do. Okay. So what I've just done is I've pulled out the repeating cards because we have 4 different cards that came up in repeat. And I normally don't do this in my filmed videos because that takes time and I could edit that out. I never do breakdowns like this because, again, it takes time. Okay? The most prominent repeating card is the Ace of Cups. There's room to grow. There is room to grow. And you've come a long way. You've done a lot of work. you should be praising yourself for that. Okay? Come a long way. You've done a lot of work. Recall that our Two of Swords is a repeating card too. Okay? Give yourself some praise for that. You've landed on a shore that fits you better. Okay? But I want you to look at in the Six of Cards from the Halloween Tarot is there's a little house on that horizon. Okay? There's a little house on that horizon, and I love that the bat motif is standing in for swords here, because the darkness that you've released, oh, this is beautiful. We didn't get judgment here, but the darkness that you've navigated through it's been beneficial because it's given you time to reflect, but it's also given you a chance to maybe think about what stuff you're made of, right? What I mean by that is you went forward without seeing the road ahead of you. You've had to feel it out. Okay, I'm getting there because either bats use echolocation is my thought on that, and you kind of had to do the spiritual form of that. Okay, sounds a little weird, right? But that's what I mean by reflecting. Okay, now that's allowed you to really balance yourself out. Here's your prominence. Okay, you have 3 versions of temperance. So you balance it out. You've had to moderate yourself a little bit differently right now. That's okay that things don't feel the same anymore. Okay, they don't look the same anymore, but that's important for you because that's going to mean that your space is your energetic space is going to be a little bit different in a good way, in a really good way. Okay, but the people that you left behind when you made your Six of Swords move, the people that you left behind are meant to stay where they are for now because they're not ready to level up. Maybe they're doing leveling up of their own, and that's good. That's good for them. I would praise them. I would be happy for them. Okay, but you're on a journey of your own. Okay, you're on a journey of your own. The people that you have around you right now, because yes, you do, believe it or not, yes, you do. The people that you have around you right now are the people that are your ride or die, right? Okay, and I'm referring to friends, family, trusted people around you, but also, if you want to buy into this, you don't have to. This is what I meant by being in flow. Let me just pull up one of the. Let me pull up this one. This is what I mean about being in flow here. Okay, you are part of a current. Okay, you are part of a current. You are part of a team. You are part of a flow. Okay, and I think part of your journey is to figure out your individual part of that current. Okay, I'll tell you what, I could talk forever on that matter, but I'm going to ramble. I'm going to leave that there. Yeah, that is, I love it. I love that we're getting that for this reading. Yeah, I love that we're getting that for this reading. I'm especially grateful that I get to talk with you guys like this, that I get to be here with you guys like this. Again, let me know in the chat, let me know in the comments if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. If you have an alternate, if you have a different interpretation of the cards, please let me hear it. Do it if you feel safe. If not, don't stress. I am going to have to shut this live down for the time being. been up since very early this morning, so I'm starting to fade a little bit here, guys. But I hope that tonight is safe and celebratory for you if you do celebrate Halloween. If you're at home watching scary movies, love that for you. Don't go to bed with nightmares. Or do. I don't know. Talk to me about it in the comments if you want. Anyway, yeah, I'm going to call it for now, guys. I love you lots. Thank you for being patient with me. I will have new videos for November coming to you very soon. But until that time, stay safe. I love you so, so much. I will see you very soon, and happy Halloween. Peaceful Samhain. Bye, everybody.